You talk a little bit later in the book as well about dealing with haters in your head, because, as a business owner, like we all learn that there are a lot of people that are out there that are going to have different opinions from ours, that are going to be opponents of ours and really go to the extreme of being, a hater. And, we all, I don't know if you're the same way, like Sherry, like with me, like I can get one bad email in a day and it turns my whole day upside down. Do you know
Yeah.
what I mean? And I know I'm not alone in this. It's just, it's something that gets into your head. It's just, I just, it's just psychologically the way people are. So, how do you filter those out? And you talk about destinking your thinking, what is, what does that mean?
Well, there's a couple things at play here. One is that as you're identifying, our brains are much more sensitive to negative feedback.
Right.
And that's kind of an evolutionary throwback in the sense that we're being sensitive to something that's potentially dangerous.
Right.
So our brains are more sensitive to anger than they are to joy,
Right.
because anger could be problematic and joy is just fun from a survival perspective.
Right.
So when we understand that and we realize that, yes, you could receive 15 wonderful reviews over your most recent product or your most recent launch, but then there's one that's not so enthralled, that you are going to overanalyze or overweigh that piece of data.
Yeah.
So purely knowing that your brain is kind of playing tricks on you to keep you safe, I think is a really helpful starting point. And then that helps you to counterbalance the data that you're receiving in the positive with the data that you're receiving in the negative.
So you talk about moving forward with that thinking, how do you handle that kind of feedback? Do you completely filter it out? Do you ignore it? Like, how do you do that if somebody says something negative about you or has a complaint or, an issue?
Sure.
What do you personally do to just sort of put that, to compartmentalize that so you can continue on with your life?
Yeah, I think it's important to ask a couple of questions of the feedback.
Okay.
So number one, as much as it might be painful to ask, is there anything valid here?
Right.
Right? Is there anything, even though it stings, is there anything here that I can take away as potentially useful in my own growth and the improvement of my business?
Right.
Secondly, it's really important to ask about the source. Who is saying this? What are their motives? Are they somebody that hates me anyway? Are they somebody that, has been a good customer in the past and, maybe is really trying to give me feedback that will be helpful? So I think those are two important questions. Is there anything useful, and is it from a trusted source? And that gives you a sense of how much weight or time or space to give it.